Sandy, listen, the man is just about to say it.
Yeah, let's everybody listen.
The USA Radio Network presents the greatest radio programs of all time.
Henry Aldrich.
Coming, Mother.
The CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind.
This is classic radio theater.
Want to get away from it all?
The FBI in Peace and War.
Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
The unexpected.
The unexpected.
The unexpected.
Now here's your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends.
The Mutual program The Big Story, as it was originally broadcast 71 years ago today, May 5th, 1948. And we thank you for joining us on this Sunday. It is the 5th day of May, the Cinco de Mayo, the 125th day of the year, and we have 240 days remaining until 2019 is in the rearview mirror. Christopher Columbus discovered the island of Jamaica on this date in 1494 and claimed it for Spain. Mary Keys became the first woman awarded a U.S. patent on this date in 1809 for a technique of weaving straw with silk and thread. In 1862, troops led by Ignacio Zaragoza halted a French invasion in the Battle of Puebla. In North Bend, Ohio, on this date in 1865, the first train robbery in the United States took place. In 1891, the Music Hall in New York had its grand opening. Peter Tchaikovsky, the guest conductor, Music Hall in New York, now known as Carnegie Hall. In 1893, a crash on the New York Stock Exchange started a depression in the Panic of 1893. John T. Scopes served an arrest warrant on this date in 1925 for teaching evolution in violation of the Butler Act. In 1945, Admiral Karl Donitz, the leader of Germany after Hitler's death, ordered all U-boats to cease offensive operations and return to their bases. 10 years later, in 1955, West Germany gained full sovereignty. In 1961, Alan Shepard became the first American to travel in space, making a suborbital flight of 15 minutes.
0. Ignition. Ignition. We can see the ignition. The rocket's beginning to rise, agonizingly slowly. The astronaut has turned on his clock, and here we go. We're on our way into space with Alan B. Shepard. I'll join you in just a second on another microphone.
I want to again express my congratulations to Alan Shepard. We're very proud of him, Space Committee, who are with us today, and this decoration, which is going from the ground up. Yeah.
The sounds of NASA and President Kennedy on the date that Alan Shepard became the first American to travel into space, on this date back in 1961. In 1977, David Frost broadcast the first of 5 interviews with former President Nixon.
I let the American people down, and I have to carry that burden with me for the rest of my life.
45 million viewers watched that first interview of David Frost on this date in 1977, not on a major network, independently syndicated. In 1981, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher served notice in the House of Commons that Britain would not change its policy on Northern Ireland, that despite the death of Robert Sands on the 66th day of his hunger strike and the street violence that followed.
We are on the side of protecting the law-abiding and innocent citizen and shall continue in our efforts to stamp out terrorism. Mr. Sands was a convicted criminal. He chose to take his own life, a choice his organization did not allow to many of their victims.
Michael Foot, the leader of the opposition Labour Party, strongly supported Mrs. Thatcher. He said political status could not be given to the Irish nationalist prisoners without the government itself giving aid to the recruitment of terrorists in Ulster. All that took place on this date back in 1981. In 1992, the 27th Amendment of the Constitution ratified. It provides that any change in salary of members of Congress may only take effect after the next general election. That prevents Congress from raising their own salaries. Only the next Congress. Unfortunately, it doesn't keep us from cutting Congress's salaries, and we don't like what this bunch is doing. American teenager Michael P. Fay caned in Singapore on this date in 1994 for theft and vandalism. In 2006, CIA Director Porter Goss resigned, according to President Bush.
Porter's tenure at the CIA was one of transition, where he's helped this agency become integrated into the intelligence community, and that was a tough job, and he's led ably.
No reason given for Goss's resignation. White House in the midst of an administration shakeup since Josh Bolton took over as chief of staff. Many believe the mass resignations and firing under Goss due to his punishing critiques of the Iraq invasion and purging the CIA of people seen as disloyal to Bush. And preliminary plans for a mosque and cultural center near Ground Zero in New York unveiled on this date in 2010, setting off a national debate over whether the project was disrespectful to 9/11 victims and whether opposition to it exposed anti-Muslim bias. Passing away on this date in history, Napoleon of France, Clifford Hildeglass. And if that name doesn't sound familiar, you know the main thing he created, Cliff's Notes. Jerry Wallace, Primrose Lane. Life's a Holiday on Primrose Lane. And Dana Winter, all passing away on this date in history. This is the birth date of Amos and Andy fame, Freeman Gosden. Actor Tyrone Power of Freedom USA is a radio program he did. He did lots of movies, but he did that syndicated program. The better half of Phil Harris, Alice Faye, born on this date. Ann B. Davis, you remember her from the Brady Bunch television program. Singer Johnny Taylor, Disco Lady. And Tammy Wynette, singing about her Divorce. Passing away very, very young back in 1998. Actress Pat Carroll is 92 today. From Alien and Millennium, Lance Hendrickson is 79. Monty Python, Michael Palin, 76. Jonathan Rhys Davies is 75. Mary Hopkins, those were the days, my friend, 69. Brian Williams is 60. Tina Yothers of Family Ties fame is 46. Danielle Fischel of Boy Meets World and Girl Meets World is 38. Henry Cavill of Man of Steel is 36. Adele turns 31, and Chris Brown turns 30. Those some of the people who celebrate the 5th day of May as their birthday. If this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
Going back 71 years, the big story from May 5th, 1948. That comes up in 3 minutes. I'm Wyatt Cox, and this is Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved, I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, I additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
So the other evening, I was working on my laptop on the edge of the bed, and I just fell over. I just fell asleep, and it's these Giza Dreams bed sheets. And I snuggle up with them, and I snuggle up with my pillow, and my gosh, I've slept in a lot of hotels in my time. Really nice hotels, top quality, and none of them have anything like these Giza Dreams bed sheets. But don't take my word for it. Go to MyPillow.com, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. Give them a try. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dreams bed sheets, and you can sleep just as well as I do. I have a wonderful night's sleep with my MyPillow and my Giza Dreams bedsheets. MyPillow.com. Use promo code USA, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
This is a national health alert from the Healthcare Hotline. Are you on Medicare and or have private insurance and suffer from back pain? MD Topical has a solution for you. Today, you can qualify to receive a pain-relieving treatment, such as a comfortable back brace or a customized pain treatment at little or no cost. Call MD Topical toll-free now, 888-998-7225. It just takes a couple of minutes to qualify for these amazing treatments that have helped thousands of people with severe pain. Your personalized pain treatment will be delivered directly to your door. Call MD Topical toll-free, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225, or go to mdtopical.com and get started on your road to a pain-free life. Call MD Topical toll-free, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225.
Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Now an episode of The Big Story, as it was originally broadcast 71 years ago today, May 5th, 1948, Pillars of Society.
The Big Story.
You ready, Mama? Is the store locked?
Just closing the back door. You're finished,
Yep.
Joe?
Busy week, good week.
And the money?
In the valise, ready for deposit first thing in the morning.
Oh, a customer. It's too late.
Oh, it's not too late. Maybe he needs something. Wait, I'll...
Oh, it's 2 customers, Sal. 2 men.
2 is better than 1. Come in, gentlemen, come in. What can I...
You're an old guy, Pop. I wouldn't want to hurt you. But if I had to, I would.
You want...
The valise, Pop, the valise.
No, We're already... You're not rich.
Frank, maybe he doesn't understand polite talk. Now, give me that valise. Frank, talk to the man so he'll be sure and understand.
The Big Story. Here is America, its sound and its fury, its joy and its sorrow, as faithfully reported by the men and women of the great American newspapers. Cleveland, Ohio. From the pages of the Cleveland, Ohio Press, the moving story of justice and a guy named Joe. Tonight, to William Miller of the Cleveland, Ohio Press, goes the award for The Big Story. Now the story as it actually happened. William Miller's story as he lived it. Cleveland, Ohio.
You sit at your desk, William Miller of the Cleveland Press, writing the story of a brutal holdup. A man and a woman, both in their 60s, owners of a small dry goods store on East 102nd Street, have been beaten and robbed. The sum taken, $2,000, represents 10 years' savings for their kind of people. Their attackers were kids, 119, 121, to whom money is the final goal, and to whom a storekeeper and his wife are just 2 people in the way. You write that bitter news story, and 2 months later you write with satisfaction that one of the robbers was sentenced to 15 years in jail. The other robber was never picked up, but you're happy with the one they got. You enter his name in the back of your mind under the category Louse. Joe Mantell. Louse. That done, you forget about him. Until 4 months later, the phone on your desk jogs you back into remembrance.
Miller speaking.
Receptionist, Mr. Miller. There's an old woman out here to see you.
Well, who is she? What does she want?
Wouldn't say.
Ask her name. I'm busy.
Yes, sir. What is your name? Thank you. Mrs. Mantell, Mr. Miller.
Mantell? I don't know any... Oh, Joe Mantell. She anything to do with him?
His mother, Mr. Miller.
What do you know? Yeah, send her in. I'd like to hear what she's got to say. Yeah, send her in.
You're very kind to see me, Mr. Miller.
You read the stories I wrote on your son, didn't you, Mrs. Mantell?
Yes, I did.
Well, then you know just how I feel. I'm only sorry you didn't get 25 years.
I'm not a proud woman, Mr. Miller. If, to get to the truth, I have to scrub floors or take a little insult. My mother doesn't mind that, Mr. Miller.
Now, look. What do you got to say?
Joey didn't do it any more than I did.
The jury thought otherwise.
Joey wasn't there. He wasn't near the store that night.
You said that in court.
I know I did.
Well, what do you want anyhow? A man gets a trial, a fair trial, a jury of decent, honest people find him guilty. What more do you want?
Mr. Miller, I'm a reader of your paper 15 years. I like the way you write.
I know all that.
No,
Thank you
that's not flattery. It's the truth. You remember the Sullivan boy about 8 years ago, Mr. Miller? He was found guilty by a jury of honest people, too, but you wrote about it, and you helped prove that he was innocent. And the Ginsburg girl, that was about 4 years ago.
Look, I studied your son's case. The only thing that makes me sore was that they didn't catch the other crook, and your son only got 15 years. Those people were in their 60s, Mrs. Mantell.
I'm 67, Mr. Miller. At 67, a woman don't lie. My boy was home in the garage fixing the car.
Why was he fixing a car in the evening?
Because when a boy wants to make a new start, he don't care if it's afternoon or evening.
Meaning what?
Joseph Mantell, my son, was a bad boy. And it's a mother saying that, Mr. Miller. When he was 16, he stole a car. At 18, he robbed a candy store. So, of course, any jury would say that at 19, he'd hold up another store and steal $2,000.
And beat up the storekeeper and his wife. I'd say the same thing.
You see, the night of the robbery, he was going away. I got $300 together, all I could spare. You see, my husband is dead. And we bought Joey a second-hand car, and he was going away. I was sitting on the steps that night, and he was in the garage fixing the car.
What's California like, Ma?
Oh, it's nice, Joey. A boy could, well, he could find himself there.
You don't know me, Ma. I got 2 strikes against me.
If he tries hard, he could find himself.
Ma, sometimes I think when they handed out luck, I was out for a beer.
Now, don't make smart jokes, Joey.
Okay. They must have seen you coming when they sold you the jalopy.
It'll get you to California, and that's all I want. Look, Joey, people in California never heard of you.
I know. No, it's not so easy. Cops heard of me, Ma. And other kinds of people, too. Don't kid yourself.
But you got nothing to be ashamed of. You did your time for the wrong things that you did. You'll go there and make a new start.
Yeah, sure. Who knows? Maybe I'll be the next Van Johnson. Joe Mantell in Home on a Range, playing at you.
What is it, Joey?
Okay, Mantell. Come along.
What's the matter? Officer, what's happened?
Didn't he tell you?
No.
You'll find out. Let's go. The sergeant is waiting for you, Mantell. And the judge and the jury, and I think there'll be a nice, comfortable cell, too. Now, come on.
That's the God's truth, Mr. Miller. He was going away to turn over a new leaf, too.
Okay, Mrs. Mantell, I heard you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a lot of work to do. 3 witnesses saw him.
Maybe Joey was right. 2 strikes against you, he said. Chances are you strike out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Take that door out, will you, Mrs. Mantell? I'm not a charitable institution, and I'm not a dope either.
And that's all. You close your mind to it. Happens every day. Every crook with a mother is innocent. You go back to the real world of being an honest reporter, and then something happens, and you realize that you haven't shaken the Mantell case from your mind because...
You write this story, Smitty?
Yeah, why?
About the 2 guys that held up the gas station?
Told you I did. Something the matter?
Oh, no, nothing. Just... Well, did you see the crooks?
Sure, I saw them. Hey, what's eating you?
Well, just this. The 2 criminals, Bud and Frank Enright, 19 and 21, in addition to robbing the attendant, beat him cruelly as well. The injuries may prove fatal because the attendant was a man Well in his 60s.
So?
Well, nothing. Just reminds me of another case. I just wonder if... Nah, 3 witnesses couldn't be wrong. The jury couldn't be that wrong. Nah. Or could they? Smitty, what jail are those 2 crooks in? Sergeant, can I see this Bud Enright?
Sure. It's a free country. What's the point, Miller?
Well, I just I want to make sure I didn't insult an old lady.
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead. Go as far as you like. Only leave him in the cooler, will you?
You look like him. You know that, don't you?
Like who?
Like Joe Mantell.
Who's he?
The boy who was sent up for beating and robbing a couple who ran a dry goods store on East 102nd Street 6 months ago.
So what? I look like him.
Did you do that job?
Don't be stupid.
Now, look, Bud, you're in a bad way. You may get life. You know that, don't you?
Oh, get out of here. I got a right to be alone.
You and your brother stuck up that couple, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, we stuck him up and tipped the cops to pick up this Mantell.
Now, what do you got to lose? Tell the truth. Maybe an innocent kid is up for 15 years for what you did.
My heart's bleeding. Now get out of here and leave me alone. What kind of jail is this anyhow? Anybody can come in here and say anything he wants. Leave me alone.
Mr. Jenkins, you identified this man as the robber of the dry goods store.
Look, young man, I testified to that effect in court. I don't see why...
And this is the man, isn't it? This is his picture?
That's right. Now, if you don't mind,
This is not Joe Mantell.
What?
That's right. This is Bud Enright, not Joe Mantell.
But
Then you're not sure it was Mantell who held up that store. It might have been this man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. That's all I wanted to know. Is this the man, Mrs. Smothers?
This one? It certainly is. I'd know his face anywhere. He came in our store just...
Well, this is not the man your testimony convicted, Mrs. Smothers. This is another man.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, that's terrible. You're sure?
I told you I didn't do it, Miller. When are you going to leave me alone?
Enright, I've got affidavits from 3 witnesses saying you were the man, not Mantell. From the storekeepers, too. Now, why don't you stop it? You're going to get life anyhow. Play ball, maybe something can be done.
I don't want any part of it.
Now, look, maybe it's a stupid thing to say, Enright, but how about a little thing like your conscience? How about a little thing like that fact that this kid's mother is sick to death because... Enright, I swear I'm going to haunt you till you tell me the truth. I'm going to...
All right. All right, shut up.
I got a statement right here. Now read it. And read it carefully.
Okay, let me see it.
From May 5th, 1948, The Big Story. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. The news of the day 71 years ago today is next.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved. I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Erin, and I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
You know, once I leave my studio and my office here, I go home and I do a lot of online work for Classic Radio Theater and other things. And the other night I was sitting there just typing away on the computer, and the next thing I know, I'm out cold. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed with my laptop, and I just fall out. And it's these new Giza Dream sheets. You know, I've always said I have the best sleep of my life with my MyPillow, and I didn't think it could get better. But these Giza Dreams bed sheets are amazing. I've stayed at my share of top-quality hotels over my time. But you know, these are some of the best sheets I've ever slept on. And you can sleep on them, too. Brought over from this beautiful Giza region, from the Sahara, the Mediterranean, the Nile. And these sheets are so comfortable. No problem getting them on my little thicker-than-usual mattress because they've got these deep pockets in them. They fit remarkably well. And the pillowcases fit over my MyPillows without an issue. Folks, don't just trust me on this. You don't know me that well, but you've heard me talk about this, and I sleep so well. Thanks to these MyPillows, and thanks to the Giza Dream sheets, it's so comfortable at night. Just check it out for your own self. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dream Sheets special. Use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. 30% off and free shipping. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, enter promo code USA. And by the way, that promo code works on just about anything on the website. So do some nosing around. Do some shopping. After all, there's somebody on there. Something for everybody you'll find in your life, don't you know?
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
If you enjoy our Classic Radio Theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus Classic Radio Theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy. And you're listening to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. We're listening to an episode of The Big Story as it was originally broadcast on Wednesday, May 5th, 1948. In the newspapers of that Wednesday, 71 years ago today, these were some of the headlines. Dateline, Birmingham, Alabama. Alabama Democrats yesterday gave a ballot endorsement to the South's revolt against President Truman and appeared to be turning thumbs down on Governor James E. Folsom's choices for U.S. Senator and National Committeeman. The party bolt sentiment reflected in the early returns from the Democratic primary races for National Convention delegates and presidential electors. Meanwhile, in Columbus, backers of Senator Robert A. Taft pushed into the lead in 13 of 23 contested Ohio presidential delegate races in slowly mounting returns from yesterday's GOP balloting. Dateline, Burbank, California. A cab driver who became so enraged at the British accent of Mrs. Sheila Howarth, 26, correspondent for a London newspaper, that he allegedly swung on her, was sentenced yesterday to 90 days in jail for assault and battery. Dateline, Washington. The House Rules Committee approved yesterday a bill threatening jail to any newspaperman who prints certain facts stamped confidential by a committee of Congress. The bill would force executive departments to hand over what information a committee wants, permit a committee by majority vote to decide whether any of the information should be made public, make it a misdemeanor with a maximum penalty of a year in jail and a $1,000 fine for anyone to divulge information ruled confidential, and this means committee members too. Dateline, Chicago. Federal seizure of the national railroads became a possibility last night after the collapse of mediation efforts to avert a strike called for May 11th. Soon after the collapse of the talks, the three unions issued strike instructions and said that union members would continue to operate troop trains, hospital trains, and milk trains when and if the strike takes place. Attempts of Frank Douglas, the chairman of the National Railway Mediation Board, to settle the wage dispute between the carriers and three operating brotherhoods broke down yesterday. Dateline Wheaton, Illinois, the treasurer of a CIO local was charged last night with murdering a fellow union officer, the president of his own local. The treasurer named in the murder warrant is Albert Bailey. The president of the United Steelworkers Union was 42-year-old William Corbell. His body found Monday beneath a woodpile in his own basement. He had been missing since January 10th. Dateline Jerusalem, hope rose suddenly last night that a real truce for hate-racked Jerusalem might be arranged soon, possibly under the auspices of the International Red Cross. Jacques Renier, Palestinian director for the IRC, invited both Jews and Arabs to let his Mercy organization sponsor a truce. A United Press dispatch from Beirut, Lebanon, reported that British, Jewish, and Arab leaders were meeting at Jericho in hopes of negotiating a truce, which would include all of Jerusalem. Dateline London, British atomic scientists have solved the biggest problem holding up development of cheap atomic power for industry. The Daily Express reporting scientists have developed a safe means of getting uranium furnaces hot enough to deliver the superheated steam needed to generate electricity. The Express said this was an achievement not expected for years, even in America. Dateline London, Winston Churchill's dream of a Western Europe united politically and economically will be discussed at a two-day conference opening at The Hague. Between 700 and 800 delegates from all 16 Marshall Plan countries are expected. In addition, observers, either immigrants or exiled, are expected from Yugoslavia, Romania, Poland, Spain, and Czechoslovakia. Dateline Bogota, Colombia, the few members of the once numerous staff of the Soviet delegation began packing their bags to leave Colombia yesterday. Char d'Affaires Eugenio Fedin, who was advised Monday of the Colombia's government's decision to break off relations with Moscow, and press attaché Alexander Kartzi are virtually the only Soviet officials in Bogota. The Colombian government directed its protocol officer to speed their departure. Dateline Atlantic City, New Jersey, if there are any arguments about it, a report yesterday by the United States Brewers Foundation will settle the matter of which Americans drink the most beer. They're Pennsylvanians. A recent survey by the foundation, which opens its 72nd annual convention, shows Pennsylvanians have a per capita beer intake of 33 gallons a year. Wisconsin a few lengths behind at about 29 gallons. Nevada third at 26.6 gallons, with New Jersey and New York tied for fourth at 26.1 gallons. Dateline Youngstown, Ohio, Jesse James robbed last night by a woman. The Youngstown man who gave police the name of the Missouri robber said a couple with whom he had visited a couple of taverns stuck him up. The man holding him while the woman went through his pockets. They got $100. Those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Wednesday, May 5th, 1948, on your radio 71 years ago, The Big Story, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater.
There it is, Commissioner. The works. Signed confession by Enright, affidavits of error by the witnesses, and now all you have to do is see the governor.
Suppose we go slow, Miller.
What do you mean slow? Everything's right here in front of you, Commissioner.
Sure. What is the confession of a life termer worth? What did you offer him to sign it? Sympathetic treatment in your paper? No. Feed a little sentiment to most crooks, they'll oblige you. What have they got to lose? That confession isn't worth the paper it's written on.
What about the affidavits of the witnesses? What about Mrs. Smothers, who owned the store?
What? That they made a mistake? That they said Enright was Mantell? I could get them to say Mantell was Enright, or maybe somebody else. Maybe instead of making one mistake, they're making two mistakes. What proof have you got? Real proof. Absolute proof that would warrant our reversing a jury.
But this man is innocent,
I
Commissioner.
know. An innocent man is in prison. Makes a great story. But how does this one strike you? A guilty man is pardoned. How do you like that story?
Mantell didn't do it. He was fixing his car that night. He was going to California.
A jury thought otherwise. 12 honest men and women, as honest as you or I. They thought otherwise. You think you've got enough to throw that decision away?
Now look, in the Sullivan case and the Ginsburg case...
Oh, sure. You batted 1,000 there. Only this time you might be batting 0. Nothing you've shown me would make the governor give Mantell a pardon. Nothing. I want proof, Miller, proof. Maybe this will sound high-handed to you, but it happens to be my philosophy, and the philosophy of the courts of this country. A jury has the last word. Trial by jury is the pillar of decency and law. You don't throw that over for a whim or an idea or even because a smart reporter comes in and presents you with something that indicates maybe, just maybe, something is wrong. Think that over, Miller. Any time you want to speak to me again, come right in. I'm honest, but I'm hard-headed. You be the same.
May 5th, 1948, The Big Story. The conclusion in 3 minutes on Classic Radio Theater.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year. A month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 855-90-SALM. That's 855-90-PSALM. 855-90-SALM.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
My mother passed a few years back, and she lived to 96. And when I was giving her your products, when I first heard about it, her skin was actually getting like a kind of rosy color. Her color was coming back. And even the nurse and doctors says, well, whatever it is, it looks like it's doing her some good. Her tests are coming back better and everything. So when I saw that, I said, I'm going to start taking them myself because I did it to benefit her. When I saw what happened and I started taking them, and I saw a difference. So it worked real well. The only thing is I was telling Patricia, I wanted to see what would happen because, the flu and colds and everything's running rampant all over the place. And so I wasn't getting sick. I said, well, let's see what happens if I don't take them. And my doctor said, why don't you stop taking the Balance of Nature for a week or so and see what happens? And sure enough, I got sick. I'm a sedentary worker, but I do a lot of stuff around the house. I fool with my place with cars. I'm bending and everything. You're kind of getting under it. I'm not 25. Usually I don't get bothered by it. When I got sick, I got pretty sick. It didn't go into my chest, but for some reason, it must have settled in the muscles in my back, the lower back, and it caused me a lot of grief. I said to myself, well, the experiment worked. I got to get back on it. I got to get back on it real fast. That's for sure.
From now until May 10th, receive a 15% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. And just in time for Mother's Day, receive an extra $10 off any additional set of fruits and veggies you purchase. This offer will end on May 10th, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station on this Sunday. Tomorrow, The Great Gildersleeve from 74 years ago. On Tuesday, Fibber McGee and Molly from 73 years ago. And on Wednesday, Frontier Town from 1953. That's all coming up this week on Classic Radio Theater. Our podcast available through our website at classicradio.stream. Now the conclusion of The Big Story, as it was originally broadcast Wednesday, May 5th, 1948.
Now, back to your narrator, Bob Sloan, and the big story of William Miller, as he lived it and wrote it.
You walk out of the commissioner's office, slowly weighing his words, because you're just a reporter, Bill Miller. A reporter for the Cleveland Press. You think over what he said, that courts and trial by jury are the pillars of our society. And you know he has a point, a big point. And so, as you move ahead now, you look for proof. Proof that'll be important enough to reverse a decision by a jury of 12 men and women, tried and true. Your first step is taken with a specialist, Dr. Thompson, an expert with a lie detector. You two sit down with Joe Mantell, and as the doctor gives him a test for truth, you can hear his heartbeat.
Now, just relax, Mr. Mantell, if you please, and answer the questions I'll ask you.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Are you innocent?
Yes, sir, Doctor, I am.
Where were you on the night of the robbery?
Fixing my car.
What kind of car was it?
A Chevy. Convertible.
How many times were you convicted before?
Twice. Both times for robbery.
But this time you're innocent.
Yes, sir, I'm innocent. I never...
Very well. Mrs. Smothers, the storekeeper, said you hit her husband on the head.
That's a lie. I never did. I wouldn't hit a man old enough to be my father.
All right, Mr. Mantell, that'll do. That'll do very nicely.
Now, just sit still, Enright. This is a lie detector.
I signed your statement, didn't I? What do you got to bother me with all this for?
Just answer the questions, and nothing's going to happen to you.
All right, Mr. Miller, I'm ready. Now, Mr. Enright, describe what happened when you went into the store.
I walked in, me and my brother. They wouldn't hand over the money, so I took it. They had it in a little valise.
And then you hit him.
Frank hit him. We wanted to be sure they wouldn't call the cops.
And then you walked out?
And we put out the lights and then walked out.
How much money was in the valise?
$2,000. Ain't that enough?
Your brother says you hit him.
And he's a liar. A dirty liar.
All right, Mr. Enright. Fine. Thank you.
Now, do me a favor, Miller. Get that Mantell punk out of jail and leave me alone.
I'll try, Bud. I'll try.
The tests, Commissioner, establish, in my judgment, the innocence of Joseph Mantell and demonstrate that Bud Enright was telling the truth when he admitted the robbery.
I see.
Well, what do you say, Commissioner?
Lie detectors are funny things. Tell me, Doctor, how do you explain this chart? The wild beatings and vibrations during Mantell's testimony, if he was telling the truth.
Well, he's young and excitable, and anyone would have such reaction.
Then they're not conclusive. He might have had the same reactions if he were lying.
Well...
Commissioner Enright's charge shows that he wasn't lying.
Now, to me, it doesn't.
Well, why doesn't it?
Because... Check me on this, Doctor. The lie detector breaks down when it comes to hardened criminals. I mean a man with a record who, over a period of years, has built himself up to lie evenly. Such a man could fool a lie detector, right?
Well, there would be some difficulty in such a case.
Read Enright's record, Miller. 7 major crimes in 6 years. Everything from smuggling to assault to arson to robbery. Such a man is constitutionally unable to distinguish between right and wrong.
But for heaven's sake, Commissioner...
I still see a jury of 12 people deliberating in a closed room, settling the fate of a man. I don't see this kind of half evidence changing what went on in that room.
Well, what do you want?
I want a reason. A better reason than you've given me for reversing a jury.
You write articles in your paper, Bill Miller. Articles pointing out the validity of your case. You call upon outstanding citizens to rally around the innocence of Joe Mantell. You bring support to your case in the person of the most respectable citizens of Cleveland. And then you go to see the commissioner once more.
No, I won't change my mind.
Well, Now, look, this has gone beyond the stage of reasonable doubt. Here are the names of 200 of the most prominent citizens of Cleveland.
I was just as impressed with the names of the witnesses and the storekeeper's wife. Size doesn't change this, and the importance of the people who signed doesn't change it. They didn't sit on that jury. They didn't hear all the evidence.
Well, suppose I got the jurors themselves. Would that change your mind?
How could you do that? That jury was impaneled over a year ago. A lot of those people are... Who knows? All over the state, maybe some out of the state. How could you get them?
Well, suppose I did. What would you say then?
You really believe in this, don't you?
Just as much as you believe in the sanctity of the courts.
If you'll get the jury, Miller, I'll get you some action from the governor.
Now you've said something, Bill Miller. You're going to get the jury to reverse themselves. And in saying it, you've said a mouthful. Because just as the commissioner thought, half the jurors can't be located easily. Some have moved to other cities, some to other states. But you go after them. You reach them wherever they are and present the testimony of the witnesses. You show them the photos. You bring in the lie detector tests. And finally, after a year of hard work, you've got 11 jurors agreeing that Joe Mantell should be pardoned. But 11 isn't 12. And the 12th juror, Mrs. Anna Ryder, can't be found anywhere. And then your phone rings.
Miller speaking.
Mr. Miller, this is Mrs. Mantell.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Mantell. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, and I haven't had a chance yet to tell you how much I appreciate all that you've done.
That's all right, Mrs. Mantell. I wish it. Well, I haven't been able to finish what I started.
Yes, I know. Mrs. Ryder, the 12th juror.
Yeah, we can't find her anywhere.
But that's why I called you. I found her.
Yeah, we've done You found her? Well, where?
Well, that's just it, Mr. Miller. She's very sick, and she's in the hospital.
Well, could we see her?
Well, I don't know. The doctor says her condition is very serious.
Well, give me the name of the hospital. Maybe we can do it, Mrs. Mantell. Maybe we can. And that's the story, Mrs. Ryder.
Thank you for coming. You see, I'm dying, Mr. Miller.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I know. But I thank you for coming. Always since I saw your first articles in the paper months ago, always there was a little cloud of doubt in my mind. And if I died with such a thing on my conscience...
No, you mustn't talk.
No, you see, his mother... This innocent boy's mother, she might have been me. No, Mr. Miller, I thank you for coming. You have a paper for me to sign? Give me the paper and bless you. Bless you for coming.
I'm so glad you came, Mr. Miller. Joey is so happy since he was pardoned by the governor.
Well, I'm glad, too, Mrs. Mantell. It's a very nice party.
Yes, it's a coming home party and a going away party, too. Did you have some turkey?
Yes, thank you, I did. What do you mean, going away?
You haven't seen Joey, have you?
No, I was beginning to wonder where...
Well, he's out in the back in the garage, fixing up the car. He said he don't want a party. He just wants to go away. He's changed, Mr. Miller, thanks to you. No chip on his shoulder now. No 2 strikes against him. Go out, Mr. Miller. Shake his hand and wish him luck. Joey'd like that better than anything in the world.
In just a moment, we'll read you a telegram from William Miller of the Cleveland Press with the final outcome of tonight's big story. Now we read you that telegram from William Miller of the Cleveland, Ohio Press.
Couldn't write story of my meeting that day with Mantell. A little too personal, a little too private. But could tell that by way he said hi, useful life had been reclaimed. Feeling was justified when 2 years later received postcard from Mantell in California. He was happy, had a good job, doing well. Many thanks for tonight's Pell Mell Award.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. The makers of Pell Mell Famous Cigarettes are proud to have named you the winner of the Pell Mell $500 Award for notable service in the field of journalism.
Listen again next week, same time, same station, when Pell Mell Famous Cigarettes will present another big story. A big story from the front pages of the Indianapolis Star. Byline, Robert Early. A big story about racing cars, reckless men, and a driver who gambled and lost.
The Big Story is produced by Bernard J. Proctor with music by Vladimir Zelinsky. Tonight's program was written by Arnold Pearl. Your narrator was Bob Sloan, and Arnold Moss played the part of William Miller. In order to protect the names of people actually involved in tonight's authentic Big Story, the names of all characters in the dramatization were changed, with the exception of the reporter, Mr. Miller.
May 5th, 1948, NBC's The Big Story, 10 o'clock on Wednesday nights, here on Classic Radio Theater. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. And a reminder, you can find our podcast anywhere fine podcasts are served, iTunes, Spreaker, the iHeartRadio app, even through Spotify. Just search for USA Classic Radio Theater, USA Classic Radio Theater, or come to the webpage, classicradio.stream. Come visit me. I'm so lonely. classicradio.stream. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for listening. Thank this station. Support the advertisers. Tell a friend the great radio shows are back. Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station and the USA Radio Network.
The USA Radio Network presents the greatest radio programs of all time.
Jack Benny Program.
Look, bud, I said your money or your life. I'm thinking it over.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Straighten up that closet one of these days.
This is Classic Radio Theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
The Bob Hope Show, transcribed direct from Hollywood.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
From Hollywood, the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show.
Now here's your host, Wyatt Cox.
If you're an old movie fan, you're no doubt aware of Cary Grant and his movie that he did, Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House. Did you know that was made into a radio series? It was sponsored by TWA, Trans World Airlines. Cary Grant, Betsy Drake in Mr. and Mrs. Blandings. This episode from May 5th, 1951.
Flying's the way to travel, and the way to fly is TWA, Trans World Airlines. Presenting Cary Grant and Betsy Drake as Mr. and Mrs. Blandings in a new series based on Eric Hodgins' best-selling novels, Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House and Blandings Way. Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake. And now let's take a trip to Lansdale, Connecticut, and look in on the Blandings family. It is early morning. Everyone is asleep, and the day starts, as it does in every other house, with... Jim has set the alarm a little early this morning so that he can get up and do his exercises before Muriel awakens. So at the sound of the alarm, the bedclothes are thrown back, the bed springs creak, the alarm is shut off, and we hear...
Jim, time to get up.
A day has started in the Blandings household. The children get dressed, the table is set, the coffee is poured, the orange juice prepared. All is hustle and bustle. And we hear Muriel say,
Jim, time to get up.
And so breakfast goes on uneventfully until, as they're reading the morning paper over their second cup of coffee, Muriel suddenly gives a start and says,
Jim Blandings, what does this ad in the paper mean?
What ad, dear?
You know what ad, this one.
Well, let's see. Wanted girl to work as waitress at summer resort. Must be respectable until Labor Day. I'll tell you, it's all in the way you read it.
Jim, I'm not referring to that ad.
No?
No, I'm talking about this one. Estimates wanted to repair barn. Call J.H. Blandings, Lansdale 431. Jim, don't tell me you're still thinking of repairing that old barn of ours. Bill Cole says that now is a highly impractical time to do any building.
Bill Cole. Bill Cole is a lawyer. What does he know about such things?
He knows what a fool those contractors made of you when you were building this house.
Muriel, I resent that.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah, but I resent it. Anyway, they won't do it this time. If their bids are too high, I'll do the work myself.
You?
But don't look so surprised. I know how to pound nails. I can use my head.
That's not the best way. When do you plan to begin this project?
Today. I'll work every weekend on it until it's finished. And when it is...
We'll call our grandchildren out to look at it.
Muriel, do you have anything better to do than to stand out here and watch me?
Yes, but I want to see this or I won't believe it. And I may not believe it then.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. And hand me another nail. This one got bent.
Here you are.
Oh, dear. Bent this one, too.
Here's another one. Here's a bent one. Perhaps it'll straighten out.
Please, stop being funny and hand me a heavier nail.
All right, dear. This one's practically a railroad spike.
Oh, my finger.
Darling, did you have an accident?
No, of course not. I hit myself just for a lark. It's fun. Look at my finger. Look. It's bleeding, I think.
Let's see.
Better put some iodine on it. Can't take chances.
No, I suppose not. Here. This is good stuff. Really stings.
It does? Well, maybe I don't need...
Now put out your finger.
But Muriel...
There we are.
Ow! Muriel, you enjoyed that.
Not too much. Anyhow, what did you want me to do? Kiss it and make it well?
Well, I'd like that better.
But it would never do. Kissing spreads germs.
Oh, now that's a ridiculous rumor circulated by old maids who aren't circulating.
No, it isn't.
Now run along. Let me get to work. Harder work than I thought. Oh, well, the only way to get it done without costing a fortune.
Oh, Jim, Mr. Kraft is here in answer to your ad.
Huh?
Hello, Mr. Blandings.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kraft. I'm sorry, but I've decided to do the job myself, as you can see.
Yes.
Jim, what in the world are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
Well, for one thing, you're using the saw upside down.
Now, there's a woman for you, eh, Mr. Kraft? Muriel, I want to saw the underside of this board, so I turn the saw over. Well, that's the way we do it.
Why don't you just turn the board over?
Oh, well, you can do it that way, too.
Yeah. You sure you don't want me to contract the job, Mr. B?
Definitely not. I can do it myself.
Okay, but I think I ought to be able to handle the job for somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Mind if I drop back from time to time? I get more jobs that way. Oh, hi, Mr. Blandings. How's every little thing? Is that the way you pound nails? Bend a lot of them, I bet. Why don't you hold that hammer near the end? It might help.
Mr. Kraft.
Yeah, Mr. Blandings?
Come here.
Like this?
No, closer.
Here?
Closer yet. That's fine. Now, I'd like to ask you a question.
Okay.
How would your wife like it if you came home for dinner with a hammer sticking out of your head?
Hi, Mr. Blandings. That stringer got enough support?
Yep.
Hope it don't sag.
Nope.
Main thing is she's strong enough.
Yep.
What's the matter? Got your mouth full of nails again?
Nope.
Well, what is it full of?
Swear words. Frankly, this remodeling is taking longer than I intended.
Well, just say the word, Mr. Blandings. Be glad to take over. Yes, sir. 2,500 ought to do it.
2,500? But you said it would be in the neighborhood of 1,500.
Sorry, just moved to a better neighborhood.
Jim, hadn't you better call Mr. Kraft?
Mr. Kraft? I wouldn't hire that money-hungry monster to drill a hole in a lifesaver.
But Mr. Kraft warned me that...
Muriel, please, have a little faith.
But you're liable to knock down that joist.
Does it occur to you that may be what I intend to do?
But it's the fulcrum on which the stress of this side of the building is balanced.
That's why it's important to repair it.
But you can't knock it out to repair it.
No?
No, you have to shore it up first.
Why?
Why?
Yes, why?
Any other questions?
So I thought, Mr. Kraft, I'd better call you out on the job.
I thought you would. Sam, you got those figures ready yet?
Got it, Mr. Kraft. Here's my estimate.
May I see it?
No. Sam, aren't you a little low on the overhead sprinkler installation?
Overhead sprinklers? What are they for?
Cuts down your fire insurance. You'll go for that, won't you?
Oh, well, yes, I guess so, yeah.
They always do. And now about the aluminum stall gates.
There will be no aluminum stall gates.
Oh, fair enough. Then we can put that money in on the fluorescent lighting.
What fluorescent lighting?
Mr. Blandings, you can't milk cows in the dark. Oh, you can, but you waste a lot of time fumbling.
Now, just a minute, you two. Mr. Kraft, I called you out here to do a simple repair job on a barn. Now, just what is your figure for the job?
In round figures, $4,500.
Mr. Kraft, I'm afraid we don't understand each other at all.
Well, why? You want a good, sound barn, don't you?
Of course, but...
If a thing's worth doing, it's worth doing right, I always say.
That's what I always say.
But, Mr. Kraft, $4,500.
It isn't the cost, it's the results, I always say.
That's what I always say.
Well, you may stop saying it right now. Great Scott, at that price, I might as well build a new barn.
Exactly. That's just what I was going to say.
Yes, but the cost.
Hardly more than to rebuild. Now, for instance, tearing down the old one is a salvage job. I guess that should bring about, $500.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, you got to figure everything, I always say.
That what you always say, Sam?
Yeah, I do.
Good boy. All right, Mr. Kraft, tell you what we'll do. You tear down the old barn. It's not worth fixing, I guess. And then we'll talk about building a new one.
All right, it's a deal.
Jim, are those men about through tearing down that barn?
They're hauling the last of it away right now.
Oh, that's a relief. They've driven over my petunia beds at least a dozen times. Jim, are you sure you're doing the wise thing?
What do you mean?
Well, this building a new barn. We don't need it.
Of course we don't. So why build one?
Jim, Mr. Kraft thinks you're going to build a new one.
Aha. But I'm a little too smart for Mr. Kraft this time. He stuck me on the bids, but now the shoe is on the other foot.
Are you sure? He's awfully clever.
Well, don't you think I'm clever?
Darling, you're my husband.
Well, that does not preclude the possibility of my doing something clever once in a while. Oh, here comes Mr. Kraft up the walk now. Watch this. Oh, Mr. Kraft and Sam.
Howdy.
All through?
Oh, yes, just hauled the last load out. Hello, Mrs. Blandings.
Hello, gentlemen.
Now, I guess we ought to talk about the new barn, eh? No time like the present, I always say.
Well, Mr. Kraft...
There's more. Now, Sam.
That's what I always say.
Now, go ahead, Muriel.
You tell him, dear.
All right. Mr. Kraft, I have decided not to build the new barn just yet.
Not to build it?
No, in fact, I may never build it. I didn't say I would, you know.
No?
So, I guess the only thing we have to do is to settle up on the salvage from the old barn, eh?
Guess so.
Fine. I believe $500 was the price agreed upon, right?
Right.
Oh, this is where you get a surprise, Muriel. It's going to be a present for you.
Why, Jim.
You don't have to pay me now, Mr. Blandings. I can send you a bill.
Oh, I just...
I pay you? Well, naturally.
That's your best offer?
Well, you didn't think I was going to pay you to haul that old barn away, did you?
You said it would be worth something for salvage.
That's why I was only charging you $500.
I think you can put it back, Jim.
What?
The shoe that was on the other foot.
From May 5th, 1951, Mr. and Mrs. Blandings on Classic Radio Theater.
This is a national health alert from the Healthcare Hotline. Are you on Medicare and or have private insurance and suffer from back pain? MD Topical has a solution for you. Today, you can qualify to receive a pain-relieving treatment, such as a comfortable back brace or a customized pain treatment at little or no cost. Call MD Topical toll-free now, 877-875-5909. It just takes a couple of minutes to qualify for these amazing treatments that have helped thousands of people with severe pain. Your personalized pain treatment will be delivered directly to your door. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com and get started on your road to a pain-free life. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com.
So the other evening I was working on my laptop on the edge of the bed, and I just fell over. I just fell asleep, and it's these Giza Dreams bed sheets. And I snuggle up with them, and I snuggle up with my pillow, and my gosh, I've slept in a lot of hotels in my time. Really nice hotels, top quality, and none of them have anything like these Giza Dreams bed sheets. But don't take my word for it. Go to mypillow.com, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. Give them a try. What have you got to lose? Go to mypillow.com, click on the Giza Dreams bed sheets, and you can sleep just as well as I do. I have a wonderful night's sleep with my MyPillow and my Giza Dreams bed sheets. MyPillow.com, use promo code USA, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Tired of overpaying for the little blue pill? What if you could get the exact same results for just a fraction of the price, guaranteed? Well, now you can with Sildenafil, the active ingredient in the blue pill. With 20 milligram generic Sildenafil tablets, you get the exact same results for less than $2 per pill. And again, the results are guaranteed. That's right, absolutely guaranteed results for a fraction of the cost of the little blue pill. So give your wallet a break and call us toll-free at 800-362-6091 to get your generic sildenafil delivered discreetly to your door. And of course, while saving hundreds of dollars, you'll also be saving time by saying goodbye to those long, embarrassing pharmacy lines once and for all. Again, just call 800-362-6091 and get your generic sildenafil with a 100% money-back guarantee. Getting your pills doesn't get any easier or cheaper than this, so call 800-362-6091 now.
Classic radio theater on your favorite station. May 5th, 1951, Mr. and Mrs. Blandings.
And now the second act of Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake. Have you ever seen that famous statue, The Thinker? Well, at the moment, Jim Blandings is seated in the living room, and he looks as though he were posing for a new statue called The Brooder. Over and over in his mind, he is chewing the words uttered by Mr. Kraft.
I don't pay you, Blandings. You pay me.
Yes, Mr. Blandings is chewing the words, but he's having a very rough time swallowing them.
Jim.
Huh?
Jim. What's the matter, dear? Cat got your tongue?
No, Mr. Kraft has my tongue. My tongue, my wallet, my shoelaces, and my shorts.
Jim, it's not that serious. Just pay Mr. Kraft the $500 and drop the matter. Don't keep banging your head against the wall.
I am not banging my head against the wall. I'm sitting here quietly and thinking.
Oh, and what are you thinking of doing?
Banging my head against the wall. Instead of getting $500, I pay him $500. How could I make such a mistake? Is it possible that I'm that stupid, that idiotic, that... Muriel, I will thank you to stop nodding your head.
I hadn't realized I was.
Well, my $500 is gone, and so is the barn. From now on, we'll just have to get along without one.
Oh, don't worry, dear. If worst comes to worst, we can always sleep in the house like people.
I wouldn't build a barn now if they paid me.
They won't, dear.
Then I won't build one, and that's that. Oh, now, who can that be?
It's probably Mr. Dabney from the bank. I forgot to tell you, he called that he was coming over.
Mr. Dabney? What did he want?
It was something about the barn. He seemed very angry. Coming! Well, hello, Mr. Dabney. Come right in.
Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Dabney.
Mr. Blandings, you tore down our barn.
My barn.
Mr. Kraft's barn.
Mr. Kraft's barn?
He just left here 15 minutes ago, dragging his barn behind him.
Mr. Blandings, our bank has a mortgage on your property. Part of that property was the barn. You had no right to dispose of it without our consent.
I did not intend to get rid of it. It became necessary in the process of building a new one.
Oh, if you're building a new one, there's no problem.
I'm not.
You said you were.
He was, but he's not, because the money that was isn't. So how can he if there isn't what there was?
I may not be able to repeat that to the board of directors.
Well, it's quite simple, Mr. Dabney. I destroyed the barn thinking I might build a new one. I just decided against it.
Mr. Blandings, do you remember page 7 of the mortgage, clause 3, paragraph 8, section E, part 5, line 8? Of Amendment 6, Note 12, under Article F?
Mr. Dabney, if I stopped long enough to read the mortgage, I wouldn't need to build a house. I could stay at the old ladies' home.
Well, you have destroyed property without the bank's consent. I shall be forced to invoke Article F.
What is Article F?
According to Article F, unless you rebuild the barn immediately, your entire mortgage is due at once.
Now, see here, Mr. Dabney. You can't bully and coerce me. I won't be bluffed with a bunch of legal gibberish. I intend to discuss this with my attorney.
Please do.
I shall. Hello. Circle 49929 in New York, please. I wouldn't build a barn now if half the cows in the country were left out in the rain.
Jim never was a milk drinker.
Hello? Oh, Mr. Cole, please. Bill, this is Jim. Guess who's here? Mr. Dabney. And you know what he tried to tell me? Said I couldn't tear down a barn on my own property because of the mortgage. I'll talk to you later. Mr. Dabney?
Yes, Mr. Blandings.
What color barn would you like?
The original motion picture had Cary Grant and Myrna Loy in the leading roles. There were two adaptations, one for Screen Directors Playhouse, which had Frances Robinson playing the Myrna Loy role, and Lux Radio Theater with Irene Dunn taking on the role of Muriel. We'll continue with Mr. and Mrs. Blanding in 4 minutes on Classic Radio Theater.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved, I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
You know, once I leave my studio and my office here, I go home and I do a lot of online work for Classic Radio Theater and other things. And the other night I was sitting there just typing away on the computer, and the next thing I know, I'm out cold. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed with my laptop, and I just fall out. And it's these new Giza Dream sheets. You know, I've always said I have the best sleep of my life with my MyPillow, and I didn't think it could get better. But these Giza Dreams bed sheets are amazing. I've stayed at my share of top-quality hotels over my time. But you know, these are some of the best sheets I've ever slept on. And you can sleep on them, too. Brought over from this beautiful Giza region, from the Sahara, the Mediterranean, the Nile. And these sheets are so comfortable. No problem getting them on my little thicker-than-usual mattress because they've got these deep pockets in them. They fit remarkably well. And the pillowcases fit over my MyPillows without an issue. Folks, don't just trust me on this. You don't know me that well, but you've heard me talk about this, and I sleep so well. Thanks to these MyPillows and thanks to the Giza Dream sheets, it's so comfortable at night. Just check it out for your own self. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dream Sheet Special. Use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. 30% off and free shipping. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, enter promo code USA. And by the way, that promo code works on just about anything on the website. So do some nosing around. Do some shopping. After all, there's somebody on there, something for everybody you'll find in your life, don't you know?
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
If you enjoy our Classic Radio Theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus Classic Radio Theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake, from May 5th, 1951.
Good morning, Mr. Quince.
Morning. Take that wheelbarrow up there, George.
All right, Mr. Quince.
You know, I sort of thought we'd have the cement all poured by this morning.
Well, I thought so, too. I thought so, and you thought so, but it ain't.
Well, I guess you have to expect a few delays. I figured you ought to have it finished by tonight.
I figure we ought to. By tonight.
Good.
I figure we ought to, and you figure we ought to, but we ain't. Having trouble.
What trouble can you have with a foundation? You dig a hole and pour the cement.
Exactly what we did. We dug a hole and we poured the cement.
Mr. Quince, there is no cement in that hole.
That give you an idea of the trouble we got?
Great Scott, what are you trying to say?
Mr. Blandings, our hole has a hole in it.
Well, now that's impossible.
I say it's impossible, and you say it's impossible. And so far, we poured 3 loads down the impossible. Must have hit an old well or tunnel.
Well, how much more cement will it take?
Depends on what's at the other end of that hole.
Oh, hi, Mr. Blandings.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wretch. Fine crew of carpenters here.
Best 5 in the country.
I can tell that. They look very competent sitting there on the lawn.
Oh, we can't go any further till the plumber finishes.
Well, where in heaven's name is the plumber?
Mr. Blandings, I'm a carpenter. I don't ask the plumber any questions. I don't even look at what he does. Why, if I so much as point my finger at a pipe, I have to pay dues in 3 more unions.
Never mind, I'll find him. Mr. Beasley! Mr. Beasley!
Jim, what is it you want?
Muriel, have you seen the plumber?
The what, dear?
The plumber. The man with a friend. Have you seen him?
Oh, you mean the nice man who offered to fix my faucet?
Oh, great balls of fire. You didn't take him off the job for that.
But, dear, he offered to do it free.
Well, while he's fixing that faucet free, I've got 6 carpenters waiting. It's costing me $56 an hour. Muriel, get that plumber out to the barn.
I can't.
Why not?
He's gone.
Gone where?
Where they always go, back to the shop for a washer.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Blandings.
Hi, Sam. Where's Mr. Wretch?
Oh, he's in town today. I'm taking over.
Well, good. How are things going?
Oh, about like you'd expect. You know the building game. Nail it together, then wait to see if it falls apart. Say, Mr. Kraft left with the blueprints. What do you want I should do with them lintels?
What lintels?
The lintels between the lally columns.
Oh, those lintels.
Yeah. You want I should rabbit them or not?
I thought the barn was for cows.
Oh, please, Muriel, I'll handle this. Rabbit is a carpenter's term. I don't think you need to rabbit the lintels.
Okay, you're the doctor. Hey, Joe!
Yeah. Jim, why did you say that? You don't even know what he's talking about.
Muriel, when you're as experienced as I am at the building game, you realize it's always cheaper to say no than yes.
Oh. Yes, Sam, what do you want?
If you got any of them rabbited lintels set up, rip them out.
Okay.
Rip them out. Hey! Oh, wait a minute. Whoa!
There you are, Mr. Blandings. Of course, it'll take 2 days to put them back up again.
Muriel, if I ever open my mouth again, will you do one thing?
What's that?
Rabbit me right in the lintels.
Mr. Blandings, you owe us $350 for your completion bond.
Mr. Blandings, that 220-volt switch will be another $90.
Mr. Blandings, we'll need another $100 for replacing those rabbited lintels.
Mr. Blandings owes water troughs, so take an extra $200.
Mr. Blandings, stop!
Gentlemen, I have tried to be patient. I have tried to be understanding. But the end has come. The well has run dry. The lamb has been shorn. The screwball is unscrewed. I don't care how fine a barn I have or whether it gets completed or not. All I want is that you go away. All of you. Now. And if I don't see a contractor again for 99 years, it'll seem like the pause that refreshes.
But, Mr. Blandings.
Yes!
I just came to tell you the barn is finished.
Muriel, I'm already showing a profit on the new barn.
That's wonderful, dear, but how?
I made a deal to print Fly TWA in big letters on the side of the barn. And then in small letters, I'll print to 60 cities in the United States and 20 world centers abroad.
But what about the profit?
Well, they pay me $240 a year for that.
That's very clever, dear.
Well, that's just the beginning. With the $240, I'm going into the poultry business. I made a deal to buy 200 chickens and a rooster.
200 chickens and a rooster?
Yeah. Why, that barn will make us independent.
Not half as independent as that rooster.
Good night, dear.
Good night, everyone.
Tune in next week, same time, same station, for Mr. and Mrs. Blandings, starring Cary Grant and Betsy Drake. Brought to you by Trans World Airlines. Across the U.S. and overseas, you can depend on TWA. Betsy Drake appears through the courtesy of RKO Pictures and David O. Selznick. Watch for the next Selznick release, Gypsy Blood, starring Jennifer Jones and produced in Technicolor. Mr. Kraft was played by Jim Backus. Also in our cast were Dave Willock, Leo Clary, Ken Christie, Earl Ross, and Earl Lee. Tonight's show is written by Charles Stewart and Mort Lockman, directed by Warren Lewis, and transcribed in Hollywood. Don Stanley speaking.
May 5th, 1951, Mr. and Mrs. Blandings. I think this is Cary Grant's only recurring radio role. I might be wrong, and if I am, let me know through the website, classicradio.stream.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved. I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, I additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Erin. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year. A month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 855-90-SALM. That's 855-90-PSALM. 855-90-SALM.
Were you scammed into signing a timeshare contract? And did you miss the part that said you have to pay for your great idea? Not only for the rest of your life, but when you're not here anymore, you get to pass this turkey onto your family for them to pay for the rest of their lives. Thanks, Dad. Don't burden your family down the road, and don't be stuck with expensive timeshare payments forever. Get out of your bad idea timeshare contract guaranteed, or pay nothing. Call Resort Release today and learn for free how their timeshare exit team can help you legally exit your timeshare contract. They've helped thousands of people, and they're A+ rated with a BBB. So if you feel scammed, get mad and get out of your expensive timeshare contract right now, guaranteed. Call NOW.
800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. 800-586-7112. That's 800-586-7112.
Well, let's move from the Blandings household to Pine Ridge, Arkansas on Classic Radio Theater and visit with Lum and Abner from May 5th, 1942.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog it, Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the old fellow's dream castle came tumbling down about their heads yesterday, and Mr. Wadsworth Tiffin of the Orkney Construction Company pointed out that Mousie's Wonderful World apartment project wouldn't work. The big trouble now is that Squire Skimp's friend, Gregory W. Dobbs, has a check of theirs for $1,200, with which he is supposed to be buying lumber. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum has just come in. Listen.
Well, what'd you find out, Lum? Did Dick Huddleston tell you anything?
Yeah, and it ain't good news neither, Abner.
It ain't, huh?
No, appears like me and you are just out $1,200. Dick says that check we give Mr. Dobbs is good.
Yeah, but I'll never sign my signatures on that.
Well, he says that don't matter, though. Joint account don't mean we both got to sign the check after all. It just means that either one of us can put our name on a check, and that makes it legal.
Well, wait, though. We ain't exactly out that much money, Lum. Don't forget, we got $1,200 worth of lumber coming. That's what Mr. Dobbs is going to do with it, buy lumber.
Yeah, but what can we do with that much lumber? Besides, it was bought in Mr. Dobbs' name, so it actually belongs to him.
Does it?
No, Abner, our only hope now, according to Dick, is to get in touch with the bank at the county seat, and if the check ain't come through yet, tell them to cancel it.
Well, I don't get in touch with the bank. Go ahead and get on the phone right now, Lum.
Well, we got to wait till the bank opens. They don't open till 10 o'clock in the morning. Is it 10 o'clock yet?
Why, sure. 7 minutes after.
For goodness sakes, I better call right away.
Yeah, get them on the phone. Get this thing straightened out right now before it's too late.
I'm afraid we're too late already, though. Mr. Dobbs has had a couple of days to get to the lumber company and order... hello, Mamie? This is Lum Edders, and I want you to call the back... Huh? Oh, I'm fine, Mamie. I want to get in touch with the back... Oh, Abner's fine, too.
Yeah.
Listen, Mamie, I want to call the bank at the county seat. Yes, Mom. I don't know. Just a minute. I'll ask Abner. How's Elizabeth, Abner?
She's fine.
She's fine. Now, hurry up with that call, Mamie. It's important. Oh, I reckon little Pearl's fine, too.
Yeah, she skinned her knee a little bit yesterday, but she's all right.
Skinned her knee a little. Get the call now, Mamie. Granny's getting harder every day to make a long-distance call with all them questions Mamie keeps asking me.
Yeah. I reckon she gets awful lonesome sitting there staring at them wires all day long. Never sees nobody.
Say, that reminds me, we ain't saw Squire since he went away with Mr. Dobbs the day we give him the check.
No.
Reckon Squire's back in town yet?
Well, I don't know. I talked to his woman last night, and she said she didn't know when.
Hello, is this the bank speaking? Well, I'd like to talk with that light-haired teller. Yeah, in the first cage. Yeah, that's the one, Jenkins. I couldn't recollect his name.
Ask him about the check, Ron.
Well, I ain't got hold of the right feller yet.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Jenkins? This is Lum Edders. Yeah, me and Abner's got a joint account with the bank there. Abner Peabody. Yeah, that's it. Pine Ridge. Well, look, we read a check on that account, and we want to know if it's come through yet. Oh, it's Mr. Gregory W. Dobbs. $1,200. More than likely they've been endorsed by a lumber company.
Has it come through yet, Lum?
He's going to look it up. Huh? What's that, Mr. Jenkins? Well, no, we don't know Mr. Dobbs very good, but all we know is that he's a big building contractor.
Yeah.
Huh? He is. Well, I do know. Are you sure about that? Well, I'll sworn to goodness. Yeah, I'll hold the phone. You look up the check. Hey, Granny's, Abner, did you hear that?
No, I ain't on the phone.
If that don't beat the bugs of fire.
What'd he say?
He said Mr. Dobbs weren't no builder at all.
Huh?
Nothing but a no-good bum that hangs around town there. Been arrested for being a pickpocket 1,000 or 100 times.
For the land's sake.
And on top of that, he says he's a inebriate.
Inebriate?
I believe that's what he called it.
Well, I don't know. To look at him, you never would have known he was a foreigner, would you?
No, sir, you never would. Never had no accent. Hello? Oh, it's come through, huh?
Uh-oh.
Well, what lumber company endorsed it? Maybe we can write to them and cancel the order.
Yeah, that's the thing to do, yeah.
It's what? He did. Well, I'll be dead blamed. Well, is there any way we could get that back? Oh. Uh-huh. Well, all right, Mr. Jenkins. I reckon we found out what we wanted to know. Yes, sir. Well, much obliged anyway. All right. Goodbye. Sworn to goodness.
What's the matter now?
Mr. Dobbs never went to no lumber company.
Huh?
He just endorsed that check over to Squire, and Squire deposited it in the bank under his own name.
Why, that snake in me weed.
And the worst part about it is that there ain't no way we can get that money back. The check's done gone through, and everything's legal.
I had doggy's eyes I feared all the time Squire was up to something like this, Long.
Yeah, we oughtn't never taken his word about that Mr. Dobbs. We ought to investigated him ourselves.
Of course we have.
Come to think about it, he never appeared to know much about the building business, did he?
Well, I know all he done was smoke our cigars and look at the plans upside down and say, great, great. That's all he said, great, great.
Yeah, now that I think about it, if he was actually a builder, he would have saw right away that Mousie's plan never would have worked.
Why, of course he would.
Never taken that Mr. Wadsworth Tiffin but about 2 seconds to figure out they wouldn't have nobody to sell all them houses to.
Yeah, I wish he wouldn't have saw that so quick. Then we could have sold him the plans for that $50,000 his company was offering.
Well, that wouldn't be right, though, Abner. Can't sell a feller something that ain't worth nothing at all.
No,
worth.
I reckon not. But if Mousie's plan had have been good, why, we'd have sure had all the money. Oh, wait a minute. Look out there. Look who's coming up there, Long.
Well, I'll be Squire Skin.
Yeah, look how he's strutting and swinging that cane.
Yeah.
That's all the way he does when he's up to something. My doggies, we'll put a stop to that. I'll tell him a couple of things, the snake in the weed.
Well, now, wait, Abner. Don't do nothing rash. Just let him do the talking, because we don't want him to find out what we know about Mr. Dobbs and what we done with the check and all.
Well, we ain't going to let him keep it, are we?
No. But it's going to take a heap of studying to figure out some way to get it away from him.
Yeah.
If we can.
Yeah.
Find out. Here he comes.
Now, howdy, Squire.
Yeah, come on in, Squire.
Well, gentlemen, wonderful world.
Yeah, ain't it, though?
Well, I have some good news for you, Lum. The lumber has all been ordered and paid for. And it won't be long now before we'll be breaking ground for the first apartment building.
It won't, huh?
Oh, no. The foundation is the next thing to work on, and so WW wants you to make out a check for the cement and sand and other materials necessary for this part of the construction, Lum.
Oh, Mr. Dobbs wants another check, does he?
Yes. Now, WW figures that by using his influence, he can purchase sufficient materials for only $2,000. How he can get it for such a low figure, I don't know. A financial wizard at WW. Yes, indeed, a financial wizard. Now, if you'll just make out the check, Lum.
Well, Squire, I don't believe we're going to build them wonderful world apartments after all.
What's that? Not going to build them?
No, we ain't, Squire. See, there was a feller in here yesterday. He was from some construction company in Chicago, I believe he said, and he wanted to buy this apartment plan for $50,000.
$50,000?
Yes, sir. He even had a certified check all made out to it.
Well, I do know. Well, have you sold it to him yet, Lum?
Of course not. See, this feller got to figuring out...
Abner, let me explain this.
Oh.
I believe I got a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
You see, Squire, we couldn't sell it to him on account of Mr. Dobbs had already bought the lumber, and so natural we'd have to go ahead and use the plan ourselves.
Oh, I see. This construction man wanted to buy the exclusive rights to the plan.
Oh, yeah. Now, you wanted exclusive rights.
Yes, well, now, wait a minute now, Lum. Just a second ago, you said you weren't going to build the apartment.
I mean that we wouldn't build them if we could get out of it.
Oh.
There's some way we could get our money back from that lumber, but, of course, I reckon it's too late for that, huh?
Well, no, I believe that can be arranged, Lum. I tell you what I'll do. I'll talk to the lumber company about that as soon as I can.
You can use our phone call from right here, right away.
Yes, well, you see, Lum, the lumber company's awful busy these days. They hate to be bothered with phone calls. I'll be going in the county seat this afternoon. I'll take it up with them when I get in there.
Well, why don't you give us a check for the $1,200, Squire, and then you can get it back from the lumber company.
Well, no, I can't very well do that, Lum. What if a lumber company won't give me back the money?
Well, I'll call them right now and find out. What's the name of the company?
Well, now, Lum, well, here now, perhaps your idea is the best, Lum. Now that I think about it, yes, here, I'll give you a check for that amount. You sure now that I can sell her that you can sell these plans for $50,000?
The feller's got a certified check all made out.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the best thing to do. And let's see, where's my fountain pen?
Here it is. You left it in here the other day when we had the meeting with Mr. Dog.
Oh, yes, good.
You left your blotter, too. That wanted I signed by mistake when I thought I was signing the check there, too, Squire.
Abner, hey, shut up. Don't bother Squire when he's writing there.
Oh.
Very now, there you are, Lum. Now, of course, there's one thing more, Lum. I don't know whether you're familiar with the law or not, but it's not legal for you to sell a construction plan of any kind without being a registered real estate man.
Oh, I never knowed that, Squire.
Of course, now I can handle this for you, Lum. That is, if I could show legal ownership of the plan, just long enough to make a deal, you understand.
Well, I don't know, Squire. How do we know we'd get anything out of it, though, if you was the owner?
Oh, tut. You know me better than that, Lum. But just to show my good faith, I'll give you the receipt. Let me look at my wallet here. See, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60... Here, $75 cash to show my good faith.
That's fair enough.
Yes.
Abner, hand Squire them plans that Mousy drawed up.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, thank you, Abner. Now, what's the name of this construction man, Lum?
Wadsworth Tiffin. He's with the Orkney Construction Company of Chicago.
Yes, Orkney. Well, I'll get right on this, yes, indeed, and I'll report back to you gentlemen just as soon as possible. Well, so long, man.
So long, Squire. He thinks he's bought himself something, don't he?
Mom, I thought you said it weren't right to sell a feller something that ain't worth nothing.
Abner, there's an exception to all rules. And Squire Skimp is the exception to every rule I ever heard of.
Oh, the boys is love to get back at Squire when Squire gets one over on them, doesn't he? Lum and Abner, April 5th, 1942. Hope you'll take a moment to come visit me at my website, which is classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you can stream our Classic Radio Theater podcast, learn more about Classic Radio Theater collecting, and contact me the easy way through that website, classicradio.stream. Or you can hear our podcast anywhere fine podcasts are served, iTunes, Spreaker, the iHeartRadio app, even through Spotify. Just search for USA Classic Radio Theater. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thank this station. Support the advertisers. Tell a friend. The great radio shows are back. Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station and the USA Radio Network.
The USA Radio Network presents the greatest radio programs of all time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent. Dragnet.
This is Classic Radio Theater.
Gangbusters!
I was a communist for the FBI.
Lights out, everybody.
Now here's your host, Wyatt Cox.
A dramatic presentation starring Elliot Lewis from the CBS Radio Workshop. This was originally broadcast May 5th, 1957. This is entitled Nightmare.
CBS Radio presents the CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind.
This is Elliot Lewis. I believe there's a place for experimental drama in radio. CBS Radio also believes this, hence the Radio Workshop. The play you're going to hear is such an experiment. It's debatable whether it's too personal an experience. I don't think it is, and CBS Radio has been kind enough to give me the time to find out. Some of you may be offended, some revolted, some excited by the sharing of this experience. At all events, since it is an experiment, and since we'll be dealing with those strange depths in a man's mind called his subconscious, we ask your attention. The play is called Nightmare.
Are you all right, Johnny? Johnny?
Tired. I'm so tired.
Well, what was it? Are you all right?
Fine. Just felt a little sick. Tired.
I'll call Dr. Rogers.
Oh, it's late. Let the poor man sleep. Call him in the morning if I don't feel better.
You sure?
Sure. Just want to sleep.
I'll call him.
Please. It's all right.
Well, come to bed then. You can't sit here all night.
I'll be in a few minutes. Just sit here for a while.
I'll stay here with you then.
No need. I just get a little rest.
I'll stay here.
So tired. Funny.
I'll stay with you. I won't go away. I won't leave you. I'll stay right here.
Number 18 it was on a wide end run. The opposing tackle in black trunks finally downed him on the 19-yard line. And this is a good time to remind you that this is Johnny Scott bringing you the annual Gridiron Classic. That this is Johnny Scott. That's very odd, ladies and gentlemen. There's a man sitting on the far side of the field whose face... he seems to be smiling at something. Perhaps you all know him. He's a tall man, wears a black mustache, has black hair parted in the center and well and carefully combed. He's smoking a cigarette. Perhaps you all know him. There's the play. It's number 18 again, this time diving through his own left tackle. This boy is really tremendous. There, just now, the opposing tackle grabbed number 18 from behind. The man with the black mustache is applauding. Oh, no. The players on both sides have jumped on number 18, and they're hitting him with their fists. The crowd is going wild. This is horrible. People are jumping from their seats into the field to join in, but they're all on one side, all striking number 18, who's lying face down on the beautiful green sod of this lovely stadium. It's a lovely autumn day here in New Falls, and over 80,000 screaming fans are pounding and kicking player number 18. The man with the black mustache, I'm sure you all must know him. The man with the black mustache is standing in the center of the screaming mob. He seems to be directing their efforts. I've never seen anything like this, ladies and gentlemen. There doesn't seem to be anything anyone can do to save number 18. There, just now, the man with the black mustache picked up the quiet form of my father. He slung my father over his shoulder. He's making his way through the crowd. Why is he carrying my father away? Where is he taking my father?
Mr. Scott?
Pardon? Oh, yes, Captain.
We shall be pleased to have you at our table tonight.
Oh, thank you, sir. At your table.
Of course. Had you forgotten?
No, sir. Of course not.
Very well. At 15 bells.
Yes, thank you, Captain.
Good. Good work, my boy.
Oh, mustn't forget. Dinner at 15 bells.
Master Scott?
Oh, hello, Miss Simpson. I'm glad to see you again.
Really?
Oh, of course I am. I always liked you, Miss Simpson. Just because I can't do my algebra doesn't mean I don't like you.
Take your seat, please. Can you remember where your place is in this room? Class. It seems strange to me that a young man would forget the location of his desk.
It seems strange to me that you should be holding your classes on board an ocean-going vessel.
An ocean-going vessel? Really? Rogers?
Yes, Miss Simpson.
You?
Good afternoon, John.
Weren't you just at the football game?
Football game? I've been here in class since first bell. I shall stay here until 15 bells.
Miss Simpson.
What is it, Master Scott?
I'd like to know why this student sitting here next to me has a black mustache and denies being at that football game this afternoon.
I object, Miss Simpson. I couldn't have been at that football game this afternoon when it is now only morning. This afternoon, in fact, has not yet arrived. Therefore, I move this entire case be dismissed.
Master Scott?
Why, I have nothing to say. His argument sounds logical, but I saw him hit number 18 at the football game this afternoon. I know I saw him. He hit my father and then carried him away.
Miss Simpson, it is obvious to me that since this morning to be specific, it is impossible that this young man, John, could have seen me this afternoon at anything this afternoon, since this particular afternoon won't be here until after this morning is over. Right?
Right. Master Scott?
He's trying to trick me. He's just saying words. He always does that. And I won't stand for it.
You are going to hit me?
I am going to hit you. I'm going to bloody your nose for you.
Then hit, then strike, then flay, then pound, then attack, then beat. Go!
Let go of my arms and I will.
I'm not near your arms. I won't touch your arms.
Let go of me.
I'm not near your arms. I won't touch your arms.
Then let go of me. Don't hit me. Please. What? Why did you hit me? Stop hitting me.
I'm not near your arms.
You've got to let go of me.
I'm not hitting you, John.
There. Now you can't hit me. I've got to run faster. I think this is when I'm to have dinner with the captain.
May 5th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop Nightmare, starring Elliot Lewis on Classic Radio Theater.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved, I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
So the other evening I was working on my laptop on the edge of the bed, and I just fell over. I just fell asleep, and it's these Giza Dreams bed sheets. And I snuggle up with them, and I snuggle up with my pillow, and my gosh, I've slept in a lot of hotels in my time. Really nice hotels, top quality, and none of them have anything like these Giza Dreams bed sheets. But don't take my word for it. Go to MyPillow.com, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. Give them a try. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dreams bed sheets, and you can sleep just as well as I do. I have a wonderful night's sleep with my MyPillow and my Giza Dreams bed sheets. MyPillow.com, use promo code USA, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year. A month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 855-90-PSALM. That's 855-90-PSALM. 855-90-PSALM.
Classic radio theater on your favorite station. We only know Elliot Lewis for the most part as his role of Frankie Remley on the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show. Now you get to hear him stretching his drama chops in this episode of the CBS Radio Workshop, May 5th, 1957, Nightmare.
Ah, Mr. Scott, welcome to our little captain's dinner, which we have on board ocean-going vessels every night for invited guests of the captain. I am the captain.
May I remark, sir, about your very fine orchestra?
You may.
They're very fine.
Thank you. Now, if everyone will please be seated. Miss Simpson over there.
An apple for me.
Rogers on her left.
Right.
Mr. Scott Sr. over there.
Thank you.
Hello, Dad.
Hi, Johnny. Don't bolt your food now.
I won't, Dad.
And our guest of honor, John Scott Jr., at the head of the table opposite me.
Thank you, sir.
Ready? On your mark. Get set. Go.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I hope I didn't worry anyone.
Miss Vinson, you may sit next to Mr. Scott Secundus at the opposite head of the table.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Pleasure.
Are you enjoying the cruise, Mr. Scott?
Yes, very much, thank you. And you?
Very much, thank you.
Are you hungry?
No, I'm not.
Neither am I. Besides, I hate oatmeal.
Would you like to go outside?
Thank you, I would.
They won't notice. You don't think this is forward of me?
Of course not.
I've never left a dinner table with a young man before.
I'm sure you haven't. And I don't at all think it's forward of you. I think it's very admirable of you.
Thank you.
There's a man in there, the man with the black mustache. He's not a good man or a kind man. This afternoon, he almost killed a football player during the big game. And then he grabbed me and hit me in the chest.
Doesn't he like you?
I don't remember him. I seem to know him. Do you know him?
No, I don't. I don't think I do. What's his name?
The captain called him Rogers.
The name is familiar.
I seem to remember him.
Kiss me.
Thank you, dear.
I love you so much, Johnny.
And I love you, Ruth. I love you, Ruth.
That's good. How long have we been married, Johnny?
4 years, 7 months, and 12 days.
Correct.
But I've only known you 10 minutes.
Correct.
Did you hear that?
Oh, yes.
It sounded as though we'd scraped the bottom. Yeah, there it is again.
We're going up a river.
Isn't there enough water in the river?
Well, they had to let it out. There was a need for it elsewhere.
Oh, I see.
Do you mind very much?
No, I don't mind.
That's good. You'll get used to it.
Isn't it hard on the bottom of the boat?
Perhaps. I'm sorry about your father.
Yes.
So young to die.
My poor dear mother. To lose her love.
What will you do now, Johnny?
We can't get married, Ruth. Not yet.
All right. Poor lady.
Well, that's not my mother. That's my algebra teacher, Miss Simpson.
Poor lady.
Good afternoon, Miss Simpson.
The class is dismissed. You may all go home. Thank you for being so kind. Please, excuse me.
Where were you?
What do you want?
Where did you go? Why did you go outside? Did you ask me whether it was all right for you to go outside?
Don't touch me.
I won't touch you. I just want to give you something.
Don't. Please don't. Don't hit me again. Please don't hit me again. Ruth! Ruth! Please come here. Please come here, Ruth. Where did you go? Ruth! Please, Ruth! Don't hit me again. Please don't hit me again.
What'd you say, Johnny?
Oh, hi, Dad.
Hello, son.
I thought someone had hit me. The man with the black mustache.
What man is that?
He was having dinner with us at the captain's table.
Oh, yes.
The sky looks nice through the trees.
That it does.
What are we going to do this afternoon, Dad?
Would you like to see a baseball game?
I'd love to.
Then we'll go see a baseball game and eat hot dogs and peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if we never come back, because we'll root.
And it's all right if we spoil our dinner?
I'll tell Mother to have dinner late tonight.
Dad.
Yes, Johnny?
Could I have the car tonight? I'll be careful.
Got a date with Ruth?
Yeah.
I like her, Johnny. So does your mother. She's a wonderful girl.
Do you really like her?
You bet I do.
That's good. I want to marry her, Dad.
That's good, son. That's good, son.
I want Ruth and I to be married and have a fine life and kids and a big house and a garden. Dad.
What is it, son?
You're dead.
Me? Not a chance.
But you are. I remember the day you died. You were so sick, and you died very quietly. I remember the funeral and how proud we all were because so many people, fine people, came to pay their respects.
I didn't die, Johnny.
I remember.
That must have been a dream, son. This is real, right now.
Is it, Dad?
Of course it is, son. That was a dream. This is real.
I can't hear you, Dad. What'd you say?
The Yankees are playing today, you know.
I can't hear you, Dad. Is something wrong with me?
I'll tell Mother to have a late supper.
Dad?
How do you do, young man? Nothing to worry about.
What do you want?
Nothing to worry about, young man. I have an appointment with your father.
You leave my dad alone.
Now, don't be nervous. Nothing to worry about.
Leave my dad alone, I said.
Here now. Step back. Back.
John? John?
What?
John?
I'm all right, Ruth. I'll be all right. It's just I'm lonely.
Johnny?
Don't go away, Ruth. Please don't go away. I don't want to be alone here.
Master Scott?
What? Oh, Miss Simpson.
Aren't you going to ask me for the next dance? You'd better hurry. My program's almost filled. See? I only have 18 empty spaces.
Miss Simpson, may I have the honor of the next 18 dances?
Why, Master Scott, what have you said? I should be delighted.
My arm.
Thank you.
You waltz beautifully, Mother.
They really knew how to waltz when I was a girl. When I was a girl.
You're hardly more than a girl now.
That's sweet.
And very true.
When I was a girl, I never had many empty spaces in my dance program. Young John Scott filled out my program for me at all the dances. We had a dance every Saturday night, and young John Scott was my escort. He was a very dashing young man.
Was he?
We were married, you know. I was Mrs. John Scott instead of Miss Simpson.
I know, Mother.
He died, you know.
I'm sorry.
He just died. No one knew why or how. Your father just died. May I borrow your handkerchief, Master Scott? I seem to have left mine in my purse.
Certainly, Miss Simpson.
Thank you. You may take me back to my chair now, Master Scott, and thank you for a lovely dance.
It was a pleasure. I hope I may have the pleasure again.
Thank you. The pleasure was all mine.
Good evening.
Good evening, Rogers.
What are you doing here?
I was practicing my samba.
I have always held that dancing the samba to a waltz is more interesting than dancing a samba to a samba. Don't you agree?
Quite.
Please excuse me.
I'll join you.
Thank you for a lovely evening.
This way.
Where are we going?
We've moved the office. There are some papers on your desk I think you should look over.
What kind of papers?
Well, various triplicates, duplicate copies, a few scattered originals, and 18 photostats.
Well, I'd better clear my desk then. I don't like to have a cluttered desk.
Too drafty for you?
No, not at all. The air feels good. It was stuffy at the dance.
Respiration is bad. Bad respiration.
That's very strange.
What is?
I think you said that before to me. Or were you going to say it?
Respiration?
Have you ever said that to me?
It's entirely possible. It's a form of greeting I use. Most people say, "How are you?" when they meet you on the street. I never say, "How are you?" when I meet people on the street. I always remark concerning their respiratory tract.
Of course, I see.
Does the noise of all the typewriters annoy you?
No, I can't hear them.
That's good. Will you sit down?
Thank you.
If you'll sit on that typewriter, I'll let you ride back and forth while I make out this report.
Well, that's very kind of you. This is very enervating.
Just keep your arms out of the way. If you get your arms too near to me, I shall drive this spike through them. It's a hobby of mine.
I'll be careful. I promised Ruth I'd be careful.
You're a very fortunate man being married to Ruth.
I think I am.
Don't you know you are?
Of course I know I am.
Then why did you say you thought you were?
It was just a figure of speech.
If you don't stop using figures of speech, I shall have to insist that you stop riding on my typewriter carriage.
Well, I'd just soon get off anyway. I feel quite dizzy.
Now wait till I disconnect the superheterodyne. I'll help you off. Your arm?
Thank you. Don't. Please, let go of my arm.
Sorry, didn't mean to hurt you.
What's wrong with you?
I said I was sorry. What can I say after I've said I'm sorry?
May 5th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop on Classic Radio Theater.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved. I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
You know, once I leave my studio and my office here, I go home and I do a lot of online work for Classic Radio Theater and other things. And the other night I was sitting there just typing away on the computer, and the next thing I know, I'm out cold. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed with my laptop, and I just fall out. And it's these new Giza Dream sheets. You know, I've always said I have the best sleep of my life with my MyPillow, and I didn't think it could get better. But these Giza Dreams bed sheets are amazing. I've stayed at my share of top-quality hotels over my time. But you know, these are some of the best sheets I've ever slept on. And you can sleep on them too. Brought over from this beautiful Giza region, from the Sahara, the Mediterranean, the Nile. And these sheets are so comfortable. No problem getting them on my little thicker than usual mattress because they've got these deep pockets in them. They fit remarkably well. And the pillowcases fit over my MyPillows without an issue. Folks, don't just trust me on this. You don't know me that well, but you've heard me talk about this, and I sleep so well. Thanks to these MyPillows and thanks to the Giza Dream sheets, it's so comfortable at night. Just check it out for your own self. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dream Sheet Special, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. 30% off and free shipping. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, enter promo code USA. And by the way, that promo code works on just about anything on the website. So do some nosing around. Do some shopping. After all, there's somebody on there. Something for everybody you'll find in your life, don't you know?
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
If you enjoy our Classic Radio Theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus Classic Radio Theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of Nightmare, starring Elliot Lewis, an episode of the CBS Radio Workshop from May 5th, 1957.
Is that your song?
No.
You didn't write that song?
No.
Very well. Then we can get down to the business at hand. Will you sign those papers on the desk?
Are we allowed to do that?
I wouldn't ask otherwise. Your duty is plain. Do it.
All right. This is a strange fountain pen.
It's the newest model. It's made like a piece of chalk so that it can be erased.
Well, that's an excellent idea.
Now these photostats.
I've never signed a photostat.
Just use this camera.
Well, that's a good idea.
At the bottom, where the coffin is.
Where did you get these?
I made them out, kind sir.
These are death certificates.
Very well written, I think.
These are my dad's death certificates.
Life carries with the joy so many harsh blows.
Who are you? You're so familiar, yet I can't...
Just lie back now. Don't struggle.
Who are you?
That's it. Easy does it.
Put that hammer down. What are you doing with that hammer?
If you'll just bare your chest.
Please don't hit my chest. Please. I've got to get up. I've got to run away. Up. Get up. Why did everyone go away? Why did they all leave me? I wish I knew where I was. I've got to get home. This is such a dark place. I'm afraid of the dark. Ruth, I'm afraid of the dark. It's dark and I'm alone. Ruth, please come and help me.
All right.
Maybe there's a door down there, down at the other end. Why is it so hard to walk?
You'll be all right.
I've got to walk. That'll do it. If I can walk, I can get out of here.
Careful, Johnny.
It's so far to the door. Maybe someone's moving the door away from me. Why do they do that? Don't they know I have trouble walking? Don't they know it's hard for me to walk?
Struggle. Don't struggle.
I got to get to the door. I got to get to the door.
He'll be all right.
Oh, Thank God.
This is a strange thing for a doctor to say, I guess, but I just couldn't let him die. You see, I was the doctor when his father passed away.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never knew his father.
I haven't seen him since. I've always felt that he bore me a grudge because of his father. Families very often do that, you know.
Are you sure he's all right now?
Yes, he's all right. A few months of bed rest.
He won't be disfigured, crippled?
I can promise you he won't be. Strange.
What?
He struggled against me, fought me so hard. You'd almost think he'd been conscious through the whole seizure.
Oh, I don't think he was. He didn't even know me at the time his eyes were open.
You'd better get some sleep now. I'll stay with him until morning. Then we'll get him to the hospital. He'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
All right, Doctor.
It is strange, though, the way he fought me. Strange.
As with all dreams, Elliot Lewis, who played Johnny Scott, also produced, directed, and was the author of tonight's Nightmare. The music was composed and conducted by Fred Steiner. Ruth Scott was played by Mary Jane Croft. Edgar Barrier was Dr. Rogers. Paula Winslow and Herb Butterfield were Mother and Father Scott. And Barney Phillips was the captain. The CBS Radio Workshop is produced in Hollywood by William N. Robeson.
From May 5th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop on Classic Radio Theater.
Balance of Nature's fruit and veggie capsules contain 100% fine-ripened fruits and vegetables, tested pure with no pesticides, fillers, or additives of any kind, and are the most effective whole food supplements on the market today. You might ask, how can over 10 servings of 31 different fruits and vegetables fit into 6 vegetarian capsules? Fruits and vegetables are on an average 85% water. Balance of Nature uses cold vacuum technology to remove the water, leaving only the whole food. We don't use any heat, air, or light drying methods that damage nutrients. Our cold vacuum technology maintains 99% of the fresh fruits and vegetables' original nutritional value. Along with diet and exercise, Mother Nature provides fruits and vegetables to help us maintain good health.
To order, go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751 and use discount code USA.
Tired of overpaying for the little blue pill? What if you could get the exact same results for just a fraction of the price, guaranteed? Well, now you can with sildenafil, the active ingredient in the blue pill. With 20 milligram generic sildenafil tablets, you get the exact same results for less than $2 per pill. And again, the results are guaranteed. That's right, absolutely guaranteed results for a fraction of the cost of the little blue pill. So give your wallet a break and call us toll-free at 800-362-6091 to get your generic sildenafil delivered discreetly to your door. And of course, while saving hundreds of dollars, you'll also be saving time by saying goodbye to those long, embarrassing pharmacy lines once and for all. Again, just call 800-362-6091 and get your generic sildenafil with a 100% money-back guarantee. Getting your pills doesn't get any easier or cheaper than this, so call 800-362-6091 now.
This is a national health alert from the Healthcare Hotline. Are you on Medicare and or have private insurance and suffer from back pain? MD Topical has a solution for you. Today, you can qualify to receive a pain-relieving treatment, such as a comfortable back brace or a customized pain treatment at little or no cost. Call MD Topical toll-free now, 888-998-7225. It just takes a couple of minutes to qualify for these amazing treatments that have helped thousands of people with severe pain. Your personalized pain treatment will be delivered directly to your door. Call MD Topical toll-free, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225, or go to mdtopical.com and get started on your road to a pain-free life. Call MD Topical toll-free, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Here's an episode of Little Orphan Annie, episode 1021, going back to 1936.
The little chatterbox, the one with pretty auburn locks. Whom do you see? It's little Orphan Annie. She and Sandy make a pair, they never seem to have a care. Cute little she, this little Orphan Annie. Bright eyes, cheeks of rosy glow, there's a store of healthiness handy. Mite size, always on the go, if you want to know. Princess Sandy always wears a sunny smile. Now wouldn't it be worth the while if you could be like little Orphan Annie?
It's 5:45 now, and time to hear about Orphan Annie's adventures, and all about Ovaltine, too. But before we hear Annie today, here's an important letter about Ovaltine that'll be mighty interesting to you boys and girls who've been homesick lately and find it a mighty slow business getting back to your old pep again. This letter came in from Mrs. Harvey Treaser, 1019 Lynn Avenue, Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. And here's what she says. My daughter was very ill last winter. The doctor advised me to give her Ovaltine, and she's getting it regularly now. My daughter started to eat as she never ate before. She has gained 8 pounds in the last 2 months. Before, she only weighed 36 pounds, but now weighs 44 pounds and is on her 3rd can. We will always be loyal to Ovaltine, for it surely brought my daughter back to health. Well, isn't it great the way Ovaltine helped Mrs. Treaser's daughter? Just think, by the time she was on her 3rd can of Ovaltine, she had gained 8 pounds. She was eating like a trooper and getting right back to good health again. And so, if you've been sick lately and it's taking you so long to feel well that you're missing out on all kinds of fun, just remember that Ovaltine may be the very thing to help you. Because every single cupful of Ovaltine, you know, gives important minerals and vitamins to help build up strength and energy. So ask your mother to get you a can at her drug or grocery store right away. Drink it regularly every day, and then just see if you don't begin to pick up fast and become stronger and huskier than ever. Just bubbling over with good old Orphan Annie pep. And now, for our adventure. You remember yesterday when Annie and Joe went down to see the new bridge. They met Caesar Ranelli, an Italian boy whose father, Tony, works at the bridge. And here are Annie and Joe now, standing on the riverbank, and Caesar's promised to introduce them to Mr. Amos Strong, the chief engineer. Listen to what Annie says.
Leaping lizards. It's sure going to be great meeting this big engineer, isn't it, Joe?
I'll say. Shucks, anybody who could play in all this must be a great man.
I never saw so many people working before all in one place in my life. Where'd they all come from, Caesar?
Gosh, yes, there aren't this many people in Simmons Corners.
Most of them come like my father from other bridges. They're called bridge builders. They go wherever a bridge is being built. But where do they all live, Caesar? There are barracks down on the riverbank where the men live. They are married with a family, like my father, Tony. They find a little house or a shack somewhere. Bridge building is a fine work. My father says, once a bridge builder, always a bridge builder.
Shucks, I wouldn't mind building bridges myself when it's as exciting as this. Maybe I'll get to be a big engineer like this Mr. Strong.
Suffering Sunfish, let's go meet him. Can we now, Caesar? Sure, Mr. Strong likes me. He say he likes all young people. Come on.
Will he be in that little house there with the glass front?
That's the office. It looks down over the whole construction. We'll find him there if he's here today.
Shucks. Aren't you even going to knock, Caesar?
It wouldn't do any good to knock with all of these noises going on. Come on.
Yeah? Well, what do you want? Sure, is it?
Yes, sir, Mr. Hogan. It's me. I come to see Mr. Strong.
Yeah, well, Strong's not here now. You can see that, can't you? Hoist the roof on my house. You're always hanging around here getting in my way.
I don't mean to get in your way, Mr. Hogan. I just wanted some friends.
Come on out of here. Come on out with you. I'm busy. I ain't got no time to be wasting on a pack of kids. Outside, I said, outside.
Yes, sir. We're going. Jumping grasshoppers. Who was that, Caesar? That was Mr. Hogan. He's the boss of the bridge construction.
Boy, oh boy, he sure sounded tough.
I guess he doesn't want us around here. It's all right. Red Hogan's bark is a lot worse than his bite. We'll just wait out here for Mr. Strong to come. Red Hogan? That's what a man call him.
Shucks, it's no wonder. Didn't you see his hair, Annie? He could stick his head out the back window of a car at night and he wouldn't need any taillight.
He's not so bad as he sounds. They say Mr. Flint put the whole job of construction in his hands.
Mr. Flint has, eh?
That's what my father says. Say, here comes Mr. Strong now.
You mean that big man coming up the bank there, Caesar?
That's him.
Gosh, he sure does look the part, doesn't he? With that khaki suit and that big leather belt. I guess I am going to be an engineer.
I didn't think he'd be so old, Caesar.
He's not a really old Danny. That's just because he got a white hair. And his face is so tan from being out in the open. See, before he started this bridge, he was building one down in Peru.
Peru? You mean Peru, South America?
That's right.
Boy, oh boy, now I know. I'm half an engineer already.
Hello, Mr. Strong.
Well, hello, Caesar. I'm glad to see you. Has your mother got those shirts of mine done yet?
I guess she's ironing them now, Mr. Strong. I'll bring them over tonight.
Oh, that's all right. No hurry, Caesar. On a job like this, I guess a clean shirt wouldn't stay clean very long anyhow.
Mr. Strong, here are two friends of mine who want to meet you. This is Annie Waterbox, and this is Joe Contest.
Well, howdy. I'm glad to meet you. Glad to meet both of you.
Hello, Mr. Strong.
Oh, gee.
Come in the office, won't you? Got some orders to give, and then we'll have a little chat. I'm always glad to meet children. I got two more back home in Texas. Fine, strapping youngsters. And seeing others the next best thing to seeing them. Come on in.
Hey, are you kids back here again? I told you to get away from here, didn't I? I told you. It's you, Mr. Strong. I thought it was them kids come back to bother the life out of me.
Yeah, it's me, Hogan. Kids, too. They won't bother you.
Yeah, they're always getting under my feet.
Well, maybe if you didn't look at your feet so much, Red, and looked at the stars a little more, you wouldn't be bothered so much. Say, listen.
Yes, sir?
I don't like the way they're sinking those piles down there, number 3 pier.
Yeah? Well, what's the matter with them?
I just looked over the job, Red, and those logs are second-grade timber. They're not strong enough to hold up the foreman while the concrete hardens.
Well, they looked all right to me.
Well, they're not. I don't know where Mr. Flint got that timber. Everything in this job's supposed to be grade A number 1. Somebody must have sold him a bad lot.
I guess Flint knows what he's doing, all right.
Well, not when he got those logs, he didn't. Now, I want you to go down to log pile, Hogan, and pick out good timber, understand? And then substitute it for that bad lot in number 3.
Yeah, but that'll run up the cost. Now, Flint won't like that.
I don't care whether he likes it or not. This bridge is going to be built according to specifications, so long as I'm on the job. Now, you got your orders, Red. Go to it.
All right. Only Flint won't like it.
Well, right now, you're getting orders from me, not Mr. Flint. Now, hop to it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Hogan's a good Irishman. Yeah, but he's stubborn as a mule and he hates to take orders.
What's the matter with a number 3 fire, Mr. Strong?
Well, what do you know? I forgot you kids were here all the time listening. Oh, it's just a bad lot of logs, Caesar, that I guess Mr. Flint must have got stuck with. Some smart salesman must have sold him second-grade stuff instead of first. You see that big heap of logs out the window there where Hogan's heading?
I see him.
Boy, oh boy, that's a big heap, all right. Gosh, they're piled up high. They'd make some smash if they ever fell over.
Well, we use those logs in sinking piles. Yeah, sink them way down in the riverbed, you see, and then we build timber up around them in forms till we got a hollow square the size of a house. Then we pump the water out of it and fill it up with concrete. And that makes a big, solid block of pure concrete that holds up part of the bridge.
Gee.
But the inferior logs, second-grade stuff, might not hold the frame solid enough for the concrete to harden even. And that would mean that section of the bridge would be weak. And I've never built a weak bridge in my life.
Shucks, I'll bet you haven't, Mr. Strong.
Yeah, let me look at you kids. I've been so busy, Well, what do you know? Annie, you're the spitting image of my daughter at home in Texas. Yes, sir. If I didn't know, I'd think it was my Annette standing right here before me. Caesar, looks to me as if you picked a couple of pretty good friends for yourself.
You bet I have, Mr. Strong.
Shucks, are you really from Texas, Mr. Strong?
Oh, sure. I used to be a cowpuncher when I was young, before I went to college and learned to be an engineer.
Gosh, that's what I want to do, Mr. Strong.
What?
Be an engineer like you.
Yeah, wait a minute, young man. I remember everything that glitters isn't gold. This job of mine sometimes a pretty tough business.
But, gee, building big bridges down in Peru and South America.
Whoa there, whoa. Has my press agent been working?
I told them, Mr. Strong, that you built a bridge in Peru.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, kids, now, don't think it was all romance and picture stuff. That bridge was a mighty serious proposition. It was a railroad bridge, and it swung across a gully in the Andes Mountains that was 1,000 feet high.
Leaping lizards. How high?
1,000 feet, and that's pretty deep. It was rough country, too, rocket and jagged as the teeth of us all. Now, we didn't get help of the caliber we get here. They were mostly half-breed Indians, old Incas. But they were good workers, and we got the thing done after a time.
Shucks, it must have been some bridge.
It was. Handsomer bridge as I ever saw. Steel net of cable swinging across a great gulf against the sky. I'm a little proud of that bridge. Well, it makes this one look, well, I guess I'm not as young as used to be. A man has to take the jobs that comes across his path. But I tell you, if you kids are interested in bridges...
I'll say we are.
You bet, Mr. Strong.
All right, then. You come around to me someday when I'm not so busy, and I'll tell you a lot of stories about bridges you never dreamed.
Will you? Jumping grasshoppers.
Why, sure I will. And just now, I'm going down there by that log pile to see that Hogan picks out a mess of good timber. Come in and see me some other time, will you?
You bet we will.
Well, so long, then, and see you later.
Gosh, Caesar, he's the swellest guy I ever met.
You bet. Me too.
Mr. Strong is one of the greatest engineers there is in the whole country.
I can believe that, all right.
You can almost tell that from the way he walks. Look at him going down the riverbank there out the window. Every step he takes is just like his name, Strong.
Shucks, he told us, Annie, to come around and he'd tell us all about bridges.
And you bet we'll come, Joe. I wouldn't miss hearing Mr. Strong talk for anything.
Me neither. Look, he's down there by the big heap of logs now.
I see him. Mr. Hogan isn't there, though, and he told him to pick out good logs.
I guess Mr. Strong likes you, too.
It was awful swell the way he asked us to come around.
I'll say it was.
What was that?
It's a log pile.
The logs that are rolling.
Leaping lizards, they're rolling right down on top of Mr. Strong. Come on.
He'll be killed.
He's trying to jump away.
Oh, that first log got him.
Mr. Strong! Mr. Strong!
Keep back! Keep back now, all of you. Keep back, I tell you. Those logs may start rolling again in a second.
That's all right. I help Mr. Strong. He's my friend.
Now get back, I say. I don't want anybody else to get back.
I help my friend. I help Mr. Strong.
I'm coming, brother. I help with the too.
Leaping lizard, so are we.
Good boy, Cesare. Good boy. Mr. Strong.
Well, that's you, Tony?
See.
Get me out of here.
All right.
It's crushing my leg.
All right.
All right, except for my leg, but I can't move.
We get you out, Mr. Strong. We get you out. Then we see about this. We see who pushed these logs.
What's this, brother? You say someone...
See. Yes, Cesare. Someone pushed the logs down on Mr. Strong. Tony, he see them do it.
Did you hear what Tony said? Someone pushed those heavy logs down on top of Mr. Strong. Who could have done a terrible thing like that? Luckily, Mr. Strong only hurt his leg, but he might have been killed. It looks as though we're going to see plenty of excitement around here before that bridge is built. But now, do you know why you hear these adventures of Orphan Annie every night? I'll tell you why. It's because the boys and girls who are real friends of Orphan Annie are drinking their Ovaltine every day. And that's the way they're helping to keep her adventures going on the radio. And if you like Orphan Annie and like to listen to her every day, you certainly want to prove it by drinking your Ovaltine, too. And by the way, when you fix your Ovaltine, be sure to add enough sugar so it will be as sweet as you want it. And boy, oh boy, what a treat you get. Because Ovaltine's all chocolatey looking and so good you'll want to drink about a barrel full. And every single thing in it is good for you, too. So, if you haven't been getting Ovaltine, ask your mother to get you a can at her drug or grocery store right now. And now, you certainly want to be here right on time next Monday at 5:45 to see the exciting things that'll be happening to Annie next. Until next Monday at 5:45 then, goodbye.
From 1936, Little Orphan Annie on Classic Radio Theater. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, for more information about Classic Radio Theater collecting and podcasts of our show on demand and getting in touch with me. Easiest way to do it is go to classicradio.stream. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for listening. Thank this station, support the advertisers, and tell a friend the great radio shows are back. Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station and the USA Radio Network.